Welcome to Press Conference. I said it this time,
Oh
Amanda.
my gosh, jumped the gun. Love it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We have a very exciting podcast today.
Oh, yes. And our Drag Race UK journey ends here. We started with Drag Race UK, so it's like, one chapter is closed. Very
Hmm.
sad day.
Are
Well,
you feeling emotional?
very. I'm going to
I'm
cry
not.
today. You're just happy like another season's ended so that we don't have to do 2 podcasts a week,
Yeah, that's
recapping
mostly
2
it.
shows.
Yes. Um,
I swear to God, sometimes. I mean, Amanda is the editor here, so she has to do all the work. I'm just here to talk.
I'm the one like sifting through like 2 hours of talking and cutting it down to like 1.5 or less. But it's fun.
And you chose a podcast partner who loves to talk, so, it's your
Yeah,
fault at
well,
the
that
end of
is
the
the
day.
point of the podcast, so I'm glad I have more content than less. But would you like to introduce today's special guest?
Yes, I'm so excited because the guest that we have is one of my personal favorite drag artists. I love them so much. And the guest that we have today is the one and only icon, Genie. Genie was a frontrunner in Drag Race Thailand until she was unfairly eliminated. Let's just keep it
Mm.
real here. And Genie won. Okay, in Drag Race Thailand, you win runway challenge, you win a maxi challenge, and Genie won 2 maxi challenge and 1 runway challenge. Am I right? Did I say that right?
Yeah. Yes, you
See,
got
I
it.
I
Look
got
at
my
you remembering my
statistics right.
record. Yes, you
I
did.
remember everything.
That's like
And
one of my that makes me happy to hear people remember. Good. Yeah, there's been so much
Yes.
drag race since then.
Yes. Well, welcome,
Gee,
Jeannie.
yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so much
having
for
me. I'm glad
coming.
to be here.
Good.
It's gonna
We are
be
too.
Is it
yeah,
time to
and
get pressed?
Yes.
it's time to get
Okay.
pressed. Yep,
That's the
I'm
that's
ready.
first
I'm
person who
ready. I'm
said that
ready.
on the
I'm
podcast.
ready.
That's like
I'm
exciting.
ready. Good. Catchphrase.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
Jeannie, I have a question. So, you did Drag Race Thailand, and I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know the answers because we talked before, but this is for the podcast, so I'm going to ask as if I don't know anything. Um,
Okay.
okay, so how how was your experience doing Drag Race Thailand? Can you tell us anything about that? Because people are dying to know.
Yeah. Okay, Drag Race Thailand was wild, right? It was the first, for season one, season two were the first international seasons, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't like I by the time I was living in Asia. So I was living in Hong Kong for a couple of years. I was living in Singapore for a couple of years. And I knew in the back of my head, Drag Race Thailand is happening. Maybe I can apply for it one day. But of course,
Yeah.
you assume it's going to be only for people in Thailand, right? Only queens in Thailand, like for work visa and all that kind of stuff. And then I remember Pangina came to Singapore for a show. And I was like, oh my gosh, let me go meet Pangina. Maybe like I can, I
Yeah.
don't know, find out more something. I barely got a chance to say hi because it was like a busy, crazy night. And then, a couple months later, I had followed Pangina on Instagram and I saw her post, oh, this video that was like, it's
Oh.
open to international queens, all genders, international queens, and it's due in 48 hours, 2 days. I was like, oh shit. And I had just 6 months before that, 7 months before that, I had just auditioned for season 11 in the US. So I had all my
Oh.
materials ready. I had everything like on my computer. And I was like, let's just do it. Let's just cut it together. I have the looks, I have everything. Let's just cut it together. It was a little bit of a shorter audition video for
Yeah.
Thailand, so I did it. And I swear to God, the whole time, like leading up through the live audition, they invited us to Bangkok for a live audition. Through all the like PR interview tests that we had to do, there was like a top 20, and we had to do like PR test to talk to an interviewer and just see if we could, I don't know, be personable enough or whatever they were looking for. To getting to the show, the whole time I was like, let's just say yes to everything because it's going to be
Yeah.
a fun story. Let's just say yes because it'll be a fun experience. It's okay if I don't get on. It's okay if I get cut. We'll just go for the experience, right? Why not? It makes you better at what you do. It's a once in a lifetime kind of experience, especially crazy for me as a non. I don't even. I was just living in Asia for work, and I'm
Yeah.
Indian, but like I was living in Asia for work, right? So it was a wild experience. And I remember there was one point in the competition when I made top six before, and everyone, I'm assuming everyone by this point has hopefully watched the season, or at least they know what happens.
Yeah.
When I made top six before they brought back Candy and Kana, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I could actually make it to the finals. I was just here for fun this whole time. I was just having fun this whole time. And now I could make it. It was like that kind of feeling. It was like, oh my God. You know, you do those crazy things in life sometimes. You just want to do, you want to have an adventure. And
Yeah.
for me, it was just an adventure for fun. I was like, oh my God, yay. And then when I felt like I could get to the top three, I was like, oh no, this is real. How did I get here? What happened? And then by that time, it was over. And I
Mm.
look back at that time and I'm like, how did that happen? I was on Drag Race? Like, this is crazy. This whole thing is crazy. And you all know what's happened since then, right? There's like UK and Canada and all the seasons, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
become an
So many.
international, global sensation. So I feel very lucky to be, maybe I give this title to myself, but I feel very lucky to be like one of the OG international queens, you know? And
Definitely.
Yes.
being from one country competing in another, like I feel like I'm one of the
Yeah.
OG like versus the world type queens, like seeing
Oh,
queens in different
definitely.
places and like scrambling us up. I feel like I
Yes.
pioneered that. I had that experience first before everyone else had that experience.
Yeah.
Although
And
I will say
yeah,
all the Puerto Rico queens get that feeling too because they feel kind of out of place, you know, where they are as
Yeah.
well. So I feel like I have a
true.
connection with those queens for sure.
And so that means we got to see you on a versus the world season soon.
Oh my
It's got to
God,
happen.
Exactly.
absolutely. I hope so. I hope
Wo-
so.
Wow Presents Plus. I know y'all listening, so please,
Mhm.
Hmm.
you know,
Take notes.
yeah, because I know you
Casting
would do
directors.
really well. Please,
I hope so.
uh,
But
I know you will
speaking
do pretty good.
Mhm.
No,
I think it would
Amanda,
be
go
really
ahead.
fun to do it. It'd be fun to hang out with all the. Sorry, I'm just like adjusting my microphone here.
No,
Like
you're
I'm
Oh,
looking
fine.
at the waveforms because I'm a nerd person. So I'm like looking at my waveforms being lower. Hold on, let's
Oh,
see.
no, don't
Test it,
worry.
test it.
I
We
adjust
can
it
fix it.
later, so I'll
Okay,
I'll
good.
make all of them neutral, yeah.
Okay, good. I was like, oh shit, I was fucked something
You're
like this up.
fine.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to do a versus the world or international something or other. Who knows what format we'll come up with next, right? I think it'd
yeah,
be
Mhm, you
so fun.
never
Also,
know.
I really love the whole like one of my favorite parts of this drag race experience is being at drag con, meeting the other girls, like meeting the other queens all over the place. And it's like it's really fun. Like this last year in drag con LA, I was lined up on Friday morning. We had the Queens Walk, right? The pink carpet runway walk.
yeah,
And I was lined up just like ready. I was just like, you know, quiet and shy and just ready backstage, like with my outfit. And then you see all the queens from all the seasons internationally, and it's like, whoa, it's like crazy. And then you could see, you know, the queens, like a lot of the queens love Pangina, right? Like they're like, oh,
yeah,
Pangina, they like love her. And then some of the other queens from like Canada, other places would just like notice me and they'd be like, and it was like I felt like a rare Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like a
You're a
rarely like a
shiny.
yeah, like a shiny, like a rarely spotted. Like, oh, where is
Yeah.
she in the wild? You know, you don't always see her. You see Pangina, she's a big superstar, right? But then
yeah.
Genie, it's like okay, maybe like oh, where do you find her? Where does she exist? She's very rare. She's very hard to find. So it makes me feel special. I'm like okay, I'm a
Oh,
special one.
love
That's
so
my nice
that.
way of saying I'm less famous.
so tell people you're gonna be at Drag Race DragCon UK.
I will be.
It's
It's gonna be
okay.
from Thailand. It's me and Pangina. So the two of us are holding
Okay.
down for our seasons.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
So representing, and
And
there's some
Yes.
Philippines queens. I'm excited to see all the Asia queens too. It's gonna be really fun.
it's gonna be great. And Drag Race US, are you planning on that or anything? I mean, I would love for you to be there because
I was thinking about it, but I feel like I was thinking about it, but I do feel like the US seasons are very much about introducing new girls, new queens to the scene,
mm,
right? Queens who we love,
yeah,
maybe like in our local communities or in they've come up or they, you know, they're successful in some other format or somewhere else, like in pageants or whatever. But or they've built a name for themselves, but now they get this platform. And I feel
yeah,
while I would love to do that and I would love to have that adventure and I feel like in some parallel universe, I was supposed to be on season 11. I don't know, in my mind, in my like delusion. But
yeah,
maybe I do feel now that you know, like some people at least know me, so maybe it's better to fit on an international scrambled up all star season where
mm-hmm,
you see they can pick interesting characters from different places and put them
yeah,
together. I feel like that's
Mhm.
where I can bring something more fun, especially since my I will say the truth. Like I don't think my style of drag fits what they're looking for regular seasons in the US nowadays.
Mhm.
And I'm glad
mm-hmm,
we're talking about UK because I love in the UK how there's still quite a diversity in the style of drag in the UK
Mm-hmm.
seasons,
Right.
whereas in the US
Definitely.
seasons, it started to become very, it's become a little bit. This is what drag is. There's like a meta. This is what drag is supposed to be. This is the kind of drag we do. This is the kind of look we go for, and everything feels like that flavor. And also, they
Yeah.
only, they really cast like young people, like in their 20s. I'm 30. I just
They
turned
do.
35.
They do.
I
Oh.
belong
Mhm.
on some other season with like season
Hmm.
queens who know who they are and have been through life and have done stuff. Whereas I feel like don't you feel like the regular seasons are very young now, like very,
Yeah.
especially in the U.S. Like they're like babies. They're all babies.
It's true. Yeah.
Mhm.
The oldest queen in season 14 was Deja, and I think she was
Yeah,
31. And then
yeah.
everybody
Mhm.
And
else
she was
was like,
considered ancient.
yeah. And Georges was what, 20 when she did
Georges
Drag
was
Race?
I think
21 when she
so.
did it cuz our birthdays are like 2 weeks apart.
Right? Like that's literally she's baby. And
Yeah.
Hmm.
it's really I would love to see you on a USA versus the world. Because I
I
think
would
there's
love
Mhm.
some
that too.
because when you are
We're
on
gonna
like
do
a
that.
versus the world, you will be representing Thailand because that's their like original season.
Yeah.
And I honestly like the international, like especially Asian seasons, they're not represented on versus the world at
Oh
all.
no.
No,
Penjaina
not at
was the
all.
only one. Like sure, Jujubee was there, but she was US. She wasn't representing
Yeah.
like Thai like scene. So like we definitely need more. I mean, you and Candy in a season.
Oh, it would be
Oh,
so good. Oh, it
that
would be
would
so good.
the girls are not ready because that
I
would be
know.
just
That would be kill. And can you imagine if they brought back like or at least for part of this? Who knows if this is even a real season that's going to exist, U.S.
yeah.
versus the world, but maybe it will, right? But can you
Yeah.
imagine if they brought back something like season one All Stars format for at least part of it, where you're teamed
Ooh,
together, and like
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
imagine me and Candy, like it would be, or me
So
and Vanda, or me and Pangina. I feel like it'd
oh
be such
oh
a
my
unique
god.
mix
Yeah.
of people, like a unique combination.
It would be
Me and like
crazy.
a glamour, beautiful performer queen, I think would be really funny and
Ooh, I
could
love that.
provide some really fun entertainment. Like
Oh,
teaching me how to
it would be
dance
crazy.
could
I
be
love
really
it.
funny to watch. I think it would be
Oh my
enjoyable. I'm
gosh.
like, oh god, and then I would make them into like a creature, like a weirdo look. It would be really funny.
Yeah, I love it. I'm excited. Like World of Wonder, I know because I've been sending you guys links for the podcast every week. So
Oh my
better,
gosh, really?
you
You did
know,
not tell me that.
not every week, but once in a while, I do
Yeah, I
send them
gotta
that.
Go
brush
check
up
it
my
out.
polish and how I speak.
We gotta be
Most of
ready.
them I'm
World of Wonder ready. World of Wonder
Yeah.
ready. Bring the drama. Let's have some arguments on this podcast.
Yeah, let's start
Bring
drama.
some drama.
Uh,
Exactly.
so before we move on to like Drag Race UK, I have one last question, and this is just Drag Race Thailand because I've been rewatching the season,
Mm,
and I genuinely have like I'm really confused. So a lot of the girls in Drag Race Thailand were English speaking girls, including you, like the ones that would
mm.
speak English and not Thai. So like when you guys would do your shooting, like Pangina would come in, Art would come in, and they would talk in Thai. Did you guys have a translator like in your earpiece, or like was there somebody else translating behind the scenes? What was it? Because I get so confused, and and y'all are like reacting in real time too. So it's like, how do you guys do that?
So we didn't have a translator on set. It was a
Oh
it
wow,
was a struggle, honestly, for production. It's not their fault. It's just they weren't
yeah,
equipped to have this kind of setup. And then some of the production staff also spoke English as well. So
mm,
I think the thing is the show was very ambitious. Drag Race Thailand
mm,
was very ambitious, and you can see that in how they produced the finale, and how they were like, let's bring international queens to have more entertainment value, to add
yeah,
another element to this. And they were like, I could sense that they wanted to make it Drag Race Asia. They wanted to take over. They
mm,
wanted to make it Asia. So I think it was quite ambitious. We didn't have translators to kind of tell us everything, and
oh
I considered that uh, I consider that fair, because we applied for Drag Race Thailand. We knew the three of us, me, Vanda, Mocha, we knew we're
yeah,
stepping into a foreign territory. We're not going to understand all the cultural references. We're not going to understand. I didn't understand, like, for example, there was a talk show challenge that I bombed, right? I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
understand
that
what
was
flavor, what essence it was. Like I thought it was like, oh, we're gonna do emotional, like Dateline, like like
yeah.
talk like 60 minutes. I was like, I'm Barbara Walters, it's 60 minutes. And it was not that. It was like a morning talk show. But I don't understand, we don't understand these references. And so those are the parts where the real translation would help us, meaning cultural translation, right? Like
Right.
Yeah.
if Kuda Lacorn was there on set to help us understand what is happening and what this means versus just what the
Yeah.
words are saying to us. Same with the runway challenges, like when I watch the US seasons, I'm like, oh my God, the runway challenge is ruffles or like shoulder pads or something simple like that. And then our themes were like after the rain, under the cloud. Like it's like really poetic themes,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
And you have to decipher that. It's not just like rainbow. It's like
Under
what
the
comes
rainbow.
after
It was
the
like
rain. Yeah, and there's a
yeah.
whole there's a whole meaning to it, there's a whole journey there. And now that I look back at that experience and I see all the other drag races around the world, I'm like, even if I missed out on understanding some of the things in the moment, I'm really glad I did this version of Drag Race because it's poetic,
Yeah.
it's
Mm.
beautiful. The concepts, what they asked of us was art. They wanted us to make art out of drag, right? And
Mhm.
you can
Yeah.
see that in a lot of what the queens do, even when it's funny, even when it's silly streamala stuff, or silly kind of
Yeah.
theatrical dramatic things. There's always a story to it. There's always a reference to a reality, to a truth, to a human insight, or a really lived kind of this is like what life was like. Remember Angeli's 10 to 60-year-old look? She did like the towels
Oh
look
my
at
god.
first,
So good.
right?
That
It
was
was like at
amazing.
that, and then she was like the old man, and there was like a
Yeah.
cultural specificity to what she
Yeah.
was saying, and it wasn't just like old, young, young, old. It was like this is when you're a kid and you're going to dress yourself up in towels and imagine yourself as this beautiful
Yeah.
creature. So that was what I loved about Drag Race Thailand. And even though
Mhm.
we didn't get as much exposure, it's still like a niche, like a cult favorite season. I'm glad to be part of it because we did a really good job. I'm proud of everything we did. Even if I don't even know what happened still in the season, I might have won. I don't know. It was all in Thai. Who knows what happened? I
Yeah.
could have I
Y-
could have been the winner, but
Yeah.
it was it was
Honestly,
amazing to be a part of.
you would have gone far. I'm not gonna lie, because that challenge, the food challenge, I don't think anybody understood what that challenge was. Because like what
No, we didn't get it. We didn't get it.
it was such a
They were like, don't make it. They were like,
random.
don't make it costumey, but like kind of
Yeah.
costume. I was like, I don't know what we're doing here. I was still proud of my look. I thought it was cool. I still have
It
it
was
somewhere.
cool.
It's like falling apart.
Oh. Oh, I love
Oh.
that. And also, like, half of the looks you guys created on there. Like, it's not like you would bring stuff, obviously, but then some of the things, like most of the things you created there, which is
Some of
just
them,
iconic, you know.
yeah. There was a lot more design challenges because again,
Yeah.
it was like I feel like that season, that show, they wanted us to be our bring our artistic selves out into the world.
Yeah.
They wanted us to create stories. They wanted us to create looks. It wasn't just like how many designers do you know who make the same
Yeah.
shit and you can tell which designer made it. I hate that. I hate it. That's why I'm
Mm.
like that's the one thing I'm irritated about on Drag Race is that you can see so clearly it's a designer's vision and not the drag queen's vision. And I hate that
Right.
more than anything. I hate it when a queen's style is so foggy, so unclear, so murky that it changes week after week because of
Yeah.
someone who dressed her in a look. I don't like that. I want it to be like your vision. Even if it's a little bit messy, even if it's imperfect, I want to see your creative vision come out to the world.
Mhm.
I agree. And also say their names. Who do you think does not
Yes.
put their vision?
Doesn't have a sense of clarity on like who she is. Still, after 2 seasons on the
Who?
show, and I don't
Oh,
care all the stands that can come for me. I don't
oh.
care. But like, you got to be
Amanda
clear
is
on who you
then.
are. You got to be clear on who you are. Great performer, and I'm glad she has stands. Of course, she's great. But like,
Yeah.
there's I want that visual crispness in who you are. Great examples are like Maddie Morphosis gets a lot of whatever shade for certain looks, whatever. But
Yeah.
she
But
knows who she is.
Oh, I
She
love
has a
Maddie.
clear.
can't be
She
clean.
has a clear. Can't be clean, but beyond that, she takes masculine ideas,
True.
football,
Right.
NASCAR,
That's
KFC.
true.
She turns it into a specific. It's a very specific lane. I love it. I love
Definitely.
it. And
Me
Yeah.
like
too.
her drag queen is like the client, the patron at the elevated strip club where Kylie works. Kylie has like that southern exotic dancer,
Mhm.
like snake skin and feathers. Like she's like reptilian, and she's like
Yeah,
exotic. She's exotic. That defines her look, you know. And they're in the same world together. They're neighbors, as Maddie
that's true.
Morphosis and Kylie, because you can see what
Oh,
lane they live in. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
Right. That
Oh,
makes
neighbors,
yeah,
like
yeah.
sense.
stylistically.
Let's jump into recapping the finale of Drag Race UK.
Can we count on your honesty, Genie? Full
Oh,
honesty on the
absolutely,
looks and okay,
absolutely. You already
okay.
heard me talk shit about people.
Oh my
You
gosh.
barely asked. You whispered say their names, and I was like, I'll tell you all the names right now.
So, have you been keeping up with Drag Race UK's entire season? And if so, did you enjoy it?
I've watched here and there. There's so much drag, right? And I'll be very
Hmm.
honest. It's like a personal thing where I get scared of watching too much Drag Race because then
That's so fair.
it just makes me like go like I just want to get back. I'm gonna jump back into it. And
Hmm.
so like I have to get into there was like work. I have like day job stuff and other things like in my life just switching
Hmm.
around. So I took a little break
Yeah,
from watching Drag Race because then I'll just be obsessed and I'll be like, what am I getting on? You know, I'll just think about that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. Like
yeah.
we all think about it. We all are excited about being drag queens, right? So we want to make our careers happen. So I've taken a
Hmm.
break, but I watch the highlights on what happens on social. I look at the looks. Generally, I've been very happy. I know it's like a hit or miss for some people these last couple seasons in the UK. What I love about this season in particular is again a very diverse group of drag queens in terms of their aesthetic.
Mm.
I do think LaFille should be like in the top two, top one. Like I feel like you know what I mean. I just feel like he is incredible as a performer and
Yeah,
artist, and
yeah.
I'm just really irritated that he didn't get
Exactly.
the spotlight that he deserved.
Exactly.
And I
Hmm.
So
also
true.
like
I mean,
yeah. Tell me what y'all think about LaFille.
oh,
We're
we've
LaFille
been
stands
LaFille
on the
stands.
pod. We are apologists. Everything LaFille does is like incredible for us. So we
Yeah.
were
Hmm.
devastated when she went home.
Yeah, and like also, you know, I like aside from the Lithiel irritation, right? Like hopefully we'll see him on an all-star season, of course.
Yeah.
I would love to compete with Lithiel just so I can be friends with Lithiel. But also,
Um,
you know, I think you see queens like Sminty Drop, you see queens like Baby, um, Cheddar. I love all. There's such a diverse like in 12
Yeah.
queens. You've got such a range of performers. Casting did a really good job of
yeah.
I
choosing.
agree.
Production did a great job of choosing queens in different lanes and not. I know that the season was a little more comedy performance, you know, direction, but that I don't know if it was designed to make certain queens win or succeed or lose. I think it's more that's what they love about British drag, about UK drag. You know, I think that's what they
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like about it. So that's
Yeah.
my vibe on the whole season. I'm really glad to see such a unique mix of people and a celebration of different kinds of drag and not just you know, I'm sexy McHooker tits, and here's my drag. I'm a woman. I'm a lady. Like that's what Drag Race in the U.S. has really become. You know, just like sexy
Right.
ladies. And here it's like you get Pixie Polite, and she's sexy in her own way, but she's like
Mm,
different. And you get a
yeah.
fucking Jerry Halliwell impersonator. Like you get all kinds
Yeah.
of queens in this season. Then you get Cheddar Gorgeous, who's an alien, and you get Danny Beard, who's a club kid, and gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
It makes me love drag. It makes me love drag more.
Oh, I
I
love
agree.
that.
Just truly agree.
Oh, and her
Let's
name is just May. I'm sorry, I forgot to say her name is just
yeah.
May. She's not just a Jerry Halliwell
Jerry Halliwell.
impersonator. She's more
Oh
than
my
that.
gosh.
But I just love that she has such a specific lane, you know? I mean, I want her
Yeah.
looks to improve, but she has a specific lane.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
So the maxi challenge, I mean, does the maxi challenge in finales really matter? So the maxi challenge this episode is like a mega mix with where they have to take a RuPaul song and write a verse on
Mm.
it, and it's like a whole performance. And basically, it's the prize of UK versus the world. So what
Mm.
Blue
Yeah,
got
yeah.
as a prize for winning the season, it's what the
Yeah.
UK girlies are doing
Oh,
as a finale
girl.
Yeah.
maxi challenge. And honestly, it was a fine challenge. I don't remember much, honestly. Like even though I did listen to it again, it was whatever. I'm not really a fan of mega mixes. As long as like if you're gonna take a song, just do the whole song rather than mixing a bunch of
Mm.
songs.
Hmm.
Um or just create an original song. I mean, RuPaul creates 20 songs in a year, so just do
Yeah.
something, out of that. So yeah, I wasn't really a fan of this maxi challenge. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
I agree. I mixes on the show don't really translate too well. I will
Mm,
say it did give me the vibe of, oh, I am watching a super put together production at a club. And it reminded me of like the local drag and the performances that girls will do for their numbers here. But, when it on TV, it just felt like a really long performance that took a lot of twists and turns. I personally can't remember any lines that stuck out to me from
me
any of these
either.
girls. So, and that's not a fault to them. It's just a fault to the style of this maxi challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It was not the strongest finale showing, but I mean I like a mega mix in general, but um the lyrics were not no one had like standout lyrics really. I think it's really hard to make these unique like the your own kind of verse. It's really hard to make it
Yeah.
successful. Um
Hmm.
I feel like it's like, it's like writing a hit song, right? It's
Yeah.
hard to describe what is a hit and what is not, and you can't
Yeah.
define it by topic. Like the queens who try to be like, this is my world and this is my aesthetic, and they try to sing
Mm,
about their aesthetic or what they did, or being in the top or
yeah.
bottom or whatever, that falls flat a lot of times. Um, I feel like maybe the secret recipe is and okay, let's if I were to do this challenge, I never got to do a verse challenge of any sort. But
Mm,
if I got to do a verse challenge, I think what I might focus on, and this is advice to any queens who are going to do the show later, um, would be to be to be clever in your lyrics. Clever
Right.
doesn't have to be reading, doesn't have to be mean, but clever ways to say how you see the world, right? Versus
yeah.
describing it kind of like academically, like Cheddar Gorgeous did a little bit,
Yeah.
or just being like, I'm on the top and you're on the bottom, crown me now. Like that kind of thing is like, that's not really clever either.
Hmm.
It's the same thing that makes a good joke, right? In the roast challenge too, you can call someone old, but if you can figure out another funny thing to say about them, that's also
Yeah.
obviously true, but people haven't hit that angle yet. That's clever. That's a smart way to
True.
make a joke.
Right.
So same with the lyrics, you can make. Oh, there was well, what was that fun lyric that Gigi Good did? Um,
Um.
it was something about leave you on red, reading red,
Oh,
something like that. I forget.
I'm just here to win and leave it on red.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a fun. That's a fun.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I
was
mean? That's like a
very
fun
clever.
example of a smart lyric,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
it's not specifically like I'm on the top, you're on the bottom, but
Hmm.
Hmm.
it's like pumping yourself up in a funny way.
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause most of the times they're like, RuPaul is gonna crown me now, and it's I'm gonna be the number one
I am
queen.
hot. I'm gonna win. Give
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
money.
Or if you're quirky, you're like, I'm a unique queen in my alien world, and I'm this and that. It's like, okay, bitch,
Hmm.
it's fine. We got you. It's like episode
we
15 now. We
saw
know. We saw the season. We know you're unique. We know you're special.
unique.
Correct.
Uh,
You.
uh,
So,
so we'll run through the contestants and what songs they have. None of them particularly stuck out, but I do have a couple questions for both of y'all about the songs in this mega mix. So in the mega
okay.
mix, Black Peppa did Sissy That Walk, Cheddar Gorgeous
Hmm.
did The Realness, Danny Beer did Call Me Mother, and Jumpers Blonde did Kitty Girl. Now, looking at this lineup, right when RuPaul told the girls what songs they were going to have, when I heard Jumpers Blonde got Kitty Girl, that stuck a little flag in my brain because uh, from All Stars 3, one of the challenges was to create your own verse for Kitty Girl. So you
Yeah.
have
Mm.
very iconic people who have already done their own verses for the song.
Oh.
What did you think about that for Jumbers Blonde? I feel like to me that this was personally going to make a challenge that Jumbers definitely could not overcome to have to outverse BB Zahara
Oh.
Benet, Trixie Mattel,
Oh.
Mm.
Rockatiki
Shangela.
ratata. Like who's gonna outsing
Yeah.
that? A baby was just. I
Yeah.
think I want to know what the criteria was giving specific songs to specific girls. Like when you look at Black Pepper, sure, Sissy That Walk, Black Pepper, great. But why not give Black Pepper Call Me Mother? She's a performance queen.
Mm.
She's killing
Hmm.
lip syncs. Call Me Mother is a very fast paced, like, na 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 na. Like, it's really a dancey song, right? When you look at Cheddar Gorgeous, the realness, it just, I don't know what was the criteria giving each. Giving Danny Beard Call Me Mother, someone who we haven't even seen perform like lip sync and anything, like just it's weird giving. And I think I don't know what the criteria was, but giving John Burrs that song Kitty Girl, it just I don't get it.
You were talking about Kitty Girl, right? You said Kitty Girl is hard
Mhm.
for John Burris to overcome. Trixie did it. All the other Changela did it. Who else was there?
BB
Oh,
and
so many people.
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Yeah,
Kennedy.
yeah, it's tough. I still remember when they
Oh,
gave
yeah.
when they gave BB the sewing machine scene, and it's like
Oh.
she can't sew, but she's in the sewing machine scene. Some of these are accidental and they're hilarious. These accidental
Yeah.
things that happen, they're so funny. Yeah, I think you were talking about Cheddar Gorgeous too. I think okay, looking at this finale episode, I think, and we know who won, right? Can we talk about that yet
Yeah.
or no? Yeah, because the Danny
Yeah.
Beard
Oh,
won.
we can.
Cheddar Gorgeous was top two. I think when you look at the combination of that interview, like the final, chat with Rue and Michelle, I think that's where Rue makes the decision, like in that conversation.
Mm,
And um Cheddar was still, Cheddar is a unique character. Cheddar was still
yeah.
withdrawn a little bit and still shielded in that interview,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't dig deep into themselves. And I think the
Yeah.
realness was the last off ramp where Cheddar could have been like, let me do lyrics about let me crack into something honest,
Yeah.
rather than talking about my aesthetic, because aesthetic people can see, right? That's what we choose about ourselves. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
the realness is like, I don't know, I feel like that would be a chance to be like, I don't know, show your heart in some way. And I think that's why Cheddar didn't win.
Mm,
Mm. That's
makes
such
sense.
a good observation. And like
Yeah.
when you point that out, like you can reflect that on pretty much any franchise that has ruined it, and it really does make sense, whether it's the way it's
Yeah.
edited or to how like or just the way we see it. It's always the best individual interview moment that takes the crown
Right?
home.
In
Yeah.
All Star 7, Rue cried when Jinx was talking about her alcoholism and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You could see, like, that you, whoever, I mean, at the end of the day, RuPaul makes the decision. So whoever, or so she says, but at the end of the day, like, whoever she likes. That's
Mhm.
how it is.
Yeah, and you can
And
see also like she was like physically repulsed by Ella Vaday's like interview. You know what I mean? She just was like, oh, like, and we know that Rue doesn't like the actor turned drag queen type persona, right? Um,
Mm.
yeah,
or
Weaponizing
that's
your
the
BFA.
Yeah, exactly. That's the funny thing we talk about online, but I think it's
yeah,
true, and it's also like when she pointedly asked Ella, not to bring the last season into this, but it's fun to compare.
yeah,
When she pointedly asked Ella Day, "Oh, but you're an actress or an actor, and some people might say you didn't succeed there, and now you're doing drag,"
yeah.
and that would have been a chance for Ella Day to flip that around and be like, "Yeah, I did fail." And it was
Mm-hmm.
heartbreaking to try to be a performer and not have these opportunities and da. And I don't know how she answered. I don't remember how she answered. But even when Ruth throws you a tough one like that, if you choose to crack it open and just be your real self and just be like
Yeah.
vulnerable, truly, not like vulnerable, but like vulnerable. I'm just bullying Amanda now. But if you want to be, if
It's
you want to
okay.
be vulnerable, you can crack it open
No,
and
it's
you can you
true.
can you can shine out. You know what I mean? It's scary to
Yeah.
do that.
Mhm.
I'm scared. I was scared on my season to be real, to be a human being. But
Right.
it's what I've reflected on after all this time is like what the show needs from you is not to be fake, not to be I know we're talking about Drag Race here, but even on
Yeah.
Dragula, you saw the recent drama with like someone saying
Oh, goodness.
Sigourney Beaver did this or said this on the show, and she had bragged about saying it and not being eliminated because she said this stuff. But I was like, that's
Yeah.
what her job is to do. That's when you cast in a reality
Yeah.
TV show. Your job
Mhm.
is to
Exactly.
bare your soul. Just be real. Be honest about it.
Yeah.
And if you need to think of yourself as a performer, you're performing yourself. That's what you're doing. You're
Mm-hmm.
performing you. And if you're doing it, then you did a good job. And so queens who do that, they tear themselves open a little bit. They are willing to dig and do it. They can
Yeah.
they can succeed. And I think Danny did that.
That's
You could
true.
We could feel it. Danny was real. And
Mhm.
oh wait, back to sorry, we like moved away from the mega mix, but no one did that well on the mega mix. So I guess that didn't change things, but
Yeah.
it made the interview more powerful, I guess, right? More relevant to who won.
Yeah.
Right. So the
It's.
next thing we're going to do is talk about the runways that we see on the show.
Oh,
We're
we're
going to
gonna go
start with
runways.
looking at the previous winners.
Mm-hmm.
So first we have the Vivian in all red.
Can I
Should I
go
answer
first?
first? Yeah, go. You tell us. Tell us. I want to hear yours
Okay.
first.
So I think she looks great. Let's she looks fine, great. Um, it's so interesting because there was like three winners, and all three of them represented the evolution of the show. So Vivian's look is simple, humble beginnings, right? Like first season. Then
Mhm.
Lawrence is like a little more, she's like more polished, advanced, whatever. And then Crystal is like over the top, like the new season girlies with like too much on and teen, this, that. So I liked how each of them represented their own thing. I think Vivian looks great. This is simple. It's like a red dress, red hair. Like it's not. It doesn't scream finale to me, but she looks really good. She nibbled for me.
She nibbled. What about you, Amanda? What do you think?
Um, it is simple, but I think it's like effective, especially when you're having a monochrome look like this. I feel like you can't sometimes if you go too far out with it, it just kind of it gets a little too much. So I think that the simplicity of this, since she was going for an all red, worked. It's not my favorite of the three winners that came back,
Yeah.
of course, but I would still, for me, I would say it's still an 8. I think it was well done for the theme and the like way she was trying to go for.
Okay.
What about you, Jeannie?
I think it's I'm like scrolling past a bunch of them. I think this one is a regurgitate for me. Just because it's just a um standard, hey, generic designer, quickly
Mhm.
make me a sequin gown that's in my measurements. I'd like a ruffle on the
Mhm.
front and a ruffle on the sleeve. And you know what? Let's make it real creative. Let's make a glove for the other sleeve. And it's just like, all right, cool. It's just not enough. I don't waste opportunities like this. If you're going to be on the show
Right.
again, and I know she was already on All Star 7, so she's like a big deal
Yeah.
already, right? I love Vivienne.
No.
She's amazing. But, don't waste opportunities you get on the main stage.
Yeah.
I would
Especially
kill for that
after
opportunity.
Yeah, especially after coming from All Star 7. Like
Right. You have
she of
money.
course
You have actual
yeah,
money.
Yeah.
and
And you probably have a couple
she
unused looks. Like, do it.
yeah, she actually had like really good runways on All Star 7.
She
So
did.
Mhm.
even on her season, like she was always, experimenting and doing something new. So I was expecting a lot from Vivian. That's why I
Yeah, I know.
wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I really think Priyanka set such a high standard now for like
Also,
returning looks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the scepter gets smaller with every queen.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Oh my goodness. So
The
funny.
evolution.
It's
Oh my
inflation.
gosh. Oh, it is. It's inflation. Ah, so next we have Lawrence Cheney. What do
Lawrence
y'all think?
Chaney. Genie, you go first.
I think okay, listen, I like that there's texture, there's a mix of things, the fabric, the metallics. This kind of like reflective mirror metallic is so trend right now for you saw it
Right.
like on half the runways, like it's just very common right now. I do
Yeah.
think I love the detail, I love the delicateness. I think Lawrence Chaney, I think wears too much fabric sometimes, a lot of times, and I think that's too much fabric on the bottom. I would love to
Right.
trim it down somehow, show some leg. I don't know,
Mm.
put a little bit more skin
Mhm.
in there. But otherwise, I think it's a nicely textured look. I think she ate.
Mhm.
I will say she ate too. I'm not. I don't know what it is, but the makeup, like the red cheeks, maybe it's the photo, but it doesn't translate well.
Hmm.
It looks like I don't know what it is, but
It
it
looks
just does
murky, I
not look.
think is what you're probably thinking.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
doesn't look the best. But I love Lawrence, and this is different for Lawrence. I think I don't think Lawrence really wore something like this, as far
Mm.
as I know. Maybe her style evolved, but I like it. I think I think she ate this. I like
Yeah.
it.
I also agree. I think she ate. And I also agree with Jeannie. I do love all the textures we're seeing. And I just like how there's a lot of different texture, but it like works well. It doesn't seem like there's too much different stuff going on. It seems to smooth over pretty nicely.
Yeah.
But and then I also agree, like with the draping you have where there's the cut, you could have taken it a little bit higher and seen a little more leg. And yeah. But overall, I think it's an 8. I really like it. I love the back part of the headpiece, and
Hmm.
I think she did a good job.
I want to see the shoe because I have a feeling the shoe is not good.
Oh, that's always the case
Yeah.
on Drag Race.
You can see it's a
Oh,
reflective silver reflective kind of thing,
yeah,
which at
Oh,
least goes with the top, like
true.
the hardware,
yeah,
the
yeah,
armor.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, next we got Crystal.
Yeah. Okay, Crystal. I
There's
love
been
this
Oh,
some
one. Oh
I
yes,
like it too,
the
but there's been
drama.
some drama online with
lots of drama.
is Hungry
Hungry.
a drag queen or a makeup artist?
I think Hungary considers them. I don't think Hungary considers themselves a drag queen. No.
Okay, makeup
Mm.
artist. Then
Yeah.
someone named Hungry uh, said that this look was a copy of their makeup style,
Mm-hmm.
and I agree to a lot of extent. I know there's been like controversy surrounding like people on this team, people on that team. I don't think there needs to be like a team per se because it does look similar when you see it side by side.
Mm.
Um, I wish they could sort it out, not on public, but the drama has been fun. That's what I gotta say. I've been
Yeah,
eating it up, the drama.
it's funny. I think it's like, sure, Hungry did a look like that for a certain
Hmm.
publication or whatever, but um I don't think that means people can never do anything like that again.
Mm.
It's
Mhm.
like, I feel like it's a little weirdly how do I say? It's like, I did it so no one can ever do it again. What a weird thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
that's
odd.
true.
Yeah, no. It's
True.
definitely like important to credit when you have inspiration that's close. But, you know, at the same time, this look isn't new. I mean, when you look at the details, I think it is like pretty similar to theirs. But
Mm.
I've seen other people other than Hungry do a graphic liner that goes like this and goes like where
Yeah.
the eyebrows
Yeah.
are. Like it's not anything new.
Yeah, plus it's one piece of a whole look, which overall look is, I
Mhm.
think, is really incredible. I don't think she's wearing too much. I would say,
Mhm.
I don't like, the one thing I don't like about this look is I don't like the tone of the hair. I feel like the tone is too
Oh,
it's like a warm gray, which I feel like that color world doesn't go with the yellow gold that's in the rest of the outfit.
I see.
I wish it was, I don't know, I wish it was something else. I don't think the hair goes with
Mhm.
this thing.
Yeah.
Right. Is it an
I
8 or regurgitate for you? Or a nibble? Or...
I think it's an 8. It's definitely the best of the 3 returning winners
mm,
Oh,
I
yes,
to
agree
me.
with
agreed.
that. I think since like a lot of these international seasons, they've set their standards so high with like the returning looks, like
Mhm.
especially in Canada, season 3 that happened a few months back. Isis came in with like an
Mhm.
incredible look. It was
Mhm.
elaborate, and I get it that the UK girlies probably don't get paid, like they don't get paid by the show, so
Mhm.
I get why like it's more simplistic, and also I guess UK is more performance based rather than look based or whatever. I don't know much about UK, but I was expecting more, even from Crystal, whose looks have been great in her seasons.
Mhm.
So I was
Mhm.
expecting a lot,
Mhm.
but I still like it. I think she ate this.
I'm glad her
Yeah.
boobs are smaller too. I think it's
Oh,
they were
true.
so big before. I was like, "Oh my lord, she's going to tip over." But she's more proportional. I like where she's gotten
Yeah.
to in her
Yeah.
look. Oh, you know what I don't like? Just to be that
What?
bitch. I don't like
Yeah.
the shoes she's wearing with like a little crossy thing.
It's
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah, me
yeah.
neither.
It's a little like
Oh my
Hollywood
gosh.
hooker. It's not good. I don't like it. It's something
Yeah.
Willem would wear, which I would love on Willem,
Oh,
just not on Crystal
yeah.
Yeah.
Versace. You know what I'm
Fifi
saying?
would
Definitely.
not love that.
Mm.
Jeremy, sorry, not Fifi. The whole
Yeah.
conversation about shoes.
Yuck.
Love
Mhm.
Oh
that.
I
my gosh.
overall I liked this look. I think it was the best of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you pointed out the hair tone, I am noticing that and it's sticking out a lot more for me. But I am a sucker for when these wigs are just like overly styled into like literal art like this.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I do live for the hair, even though I wish the tone was slightly different. And it's definitely an 8 for me. Ah, it's cute.
Interesting. The
Yes,
makeup is good.
it
Makeup's
is.
great.
All right. So now we are getting into the grand finale with the returning queens from season 4.
Ooh, first we got Copper Top. I keep calling Copper Top Ginger Top. I'm so sorry. Like
Oh
in
my
the
gosh, you've
premiere,
been
she had like the
calling
ginger.
everyone different names on this season. You called Coppertop something else at one point. You called Sminty Fresh. You called
Because of the Philippines, Minty. Yes, I know.
Yes. Oh
That's
my gosh.
okay.
And I called the winner of France a Ramona. I still every time it's Paloma, but I kept calling her Ramona. I'm so sorry. It's just my brain like it mixes a lot of names because there's so many queens now, and I'm grateful for that. But there's so many names, and it can get mixed
Mm-hmm.
maxed.
Right, right.
And Paloma. That's kind of like I don't know, like what are you, a housewife in the '60s? I'm sorry, but
She's a
Mhm.
cocktail. That's famous. That's a cocktail, right? Like it's a cocktail, I think.
oh,
Oh.
okay, that makes sense.
I don't know if she's named after that, but that's a cocktail.
Oh, I didn't
All
know
right,
that.
Copper Top. What y'all think?
Yes. It was like interesting. I'm just like kind of mesmerized by the catsuit part of this look. Like I can't tell if that fabric is printed out or if it's the kind that like kind of reflects like that velvety like pattern that they make it in.
Oh,
So I was like,
mhm.
"Oh, that's cool that I can't tell. That's probably a good thing." Like especially if it's printed, I'm like, "Oh, dang." But this reminds me of Rosé's look where she had the dress and then the outline and like
Oh,
the blue.
Paramecium. Paramecium.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah. It's interesting. I think I like the fabrics, but I don't like the design of it, if that makes sense. I like all these elements of that were
yeah.
made, they used to make. I like the ingredients in a way, but I think putting them together, it's interesting. And
The
it
s-
also I don't know why the headpiece is there. It feels out of place even though it's like blue. I just think that should have
yeah.
been eliminated.
The skin part is bothering me
On the
around
Oh,
the
ankles?
between the legs
legs.
and the shoes?
Yeah, the
Yes.
ankles. It's like okay, make it longer.
I know.
This is I think she's doing like a BDSM thing. I may be wrong. Uh I wish she had a prop, like a blue whip or something. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
looks empty.
Yeah, it's regurgitating.
I really. What's y'all rating? Regurgitate.
Regurgitate.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Me too. It's a violent regurgitate for me, and I would love to meet Copper Top, and I would love to be friends with Copper Top. Hopefully, I'll meet her in the UK, and then she'll beat me for this.
Yeah,
But
she will
I
read you.
just probably
She
I
will
just
read
don't
you.
like. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. I don't like the ankle showing. I don't like the style of the shoe with the things. I don't like the mix of the fabrics. I don't like it. What I would love for her to do is okay, let's just remix this look. If she were
Mhm.
able to take that reflective violet fabric around the waist and that's that like reflective skirt, right? And bring
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
down and then remove the floofy kind of like gathered ruffly thing. Just remove that altogether. And
Mhm.
then and
Mm.
remove the rufflies on the wrist and the shoulders and just get rid of that element completely. Because you can see she has that neck piece out of that reflective material as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bring that, make that more visible, bring the skirt down, and then make a sexy triangle bikini style like breast cover on top of the catsuit in the same reflective thing, and just slim down the silhouette a lot more. She could be a lot, and then like use that same fabric to cover the shoes, make a boot cover, hide the shoes so it looks like the bottom has the reflective blue, the waist has a reflective blue cinched,
Mhm.
a sexy triangle bikini on top of the bodysuit, and the neck
Yeah.
piece. That could be
I th-
like it could be phenomenal. It could be really
I,
clean fashion. It could be really sexy.
yeah, I see that vision.
Y'all can imagine. I'm
Definitely.
like just spinning out of
That
control in my mind,
sounds
but
so
can you
much
imagine what I'm
better.
saying?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I
Also,
can
I think it's
see.
because Ginger Copper
Copper.
went home. I keep forgetting. I'm so sorry. Because her first like premiere look had Ginger written on
Hmm.
her
Hmm.
body, so every time it
Hmm.
just goes back to that. I think because how she started, we only saw her in like what 2 episodes,
Yeah.
and it's just a drastic change from what we saw then and now. And it's not like US seasons where you shoot the finale months after you shoot the
Hmm. Hmm.
first,
Hmm.
like seasons. So the drasticness, I guess, would have made sense if she had stayed longer and slowly progressed into what the style is now.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels very drastic. It does not feel Copper Top from what we saw
Mm.
the first two episodes.
How would you
Mhm.
define Copper Top style from what you remember from the beginning?
It was colorful, but not like that. Like the fun colors, like it's
Mm.
like two different colors, like the ginger, fabulous look.
Mm-hmm.
More, I guess, clownier colors. If that makes
Like
sense.
orange, yellow,
Mm.
poppy,
Yeah,
fun, cartoony.
yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
think so too.
So this feels very adult almost for her to
Mhm.
come in
I think
this.
so
So
too. Mature.
yeah.
Also, I feel like this okay, this is again, sorry to harp on this, but this is like the hill that I will die on. I do
Yeah.
feel like you saw her face when she posed on the screen, right? She was like, like she's
Yeah,
like, I'm doing fashion now. And I feel like I hate that queens like Copper Top are I feel like queens who have something unique, quirky, something else in a different area of drag, they feel like because I feel the same pressure. You feel
mm,
like the pressure to mix up your drag and then pour it into the shape of a successful Ru girl look. Um,
mm,
Mhm.
and that's what I feel like is kind of happening here because you can see this type of approach where it's like volume, texture, all in one color. You see a lot of this kind of look done very well on Canada versus the
yeah,
world. Like it's a very current thing that the queens do now. Like all the queens have looks like this where the hair, this, all of it goes together. It's kind of tonal and multi-textured, multi-layered. It's like a better version of what Ilona Verley does, right? Like more
mm,
taking it further and further and further and elevated. Better meaning her version is like punk and fun. And
yeah,
this version is like the couture version of that, like the elevated version. And that
Mhm.
style is done a lot now,
yeah,
to give us silhouettes and drama and stuff. But I wish Copper Top would, yeah, pour her drag into, expand her drag rather than pouring it into like successful Ru girl look. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Mhm.
Next we got Dakota Schiffer. When we talk about the style and stuff, I think Dakota. This is like truly Dakota. Her drag is not like over the top. She's more lack of a better word, I guess. Like she's like
She's
oh
more elegant and
yeah,
just
Mm,
like
refined.
yeah.
simple too, but
Mhm.
beautiful, simple yet beautiful.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
I
yeah.
I like that this is the Dakota that we saw throughout the
Right.
show, and I'm glad that this is like a final evolution of like the Dakota that we saw, like a gown,
Hmm.
beautiful. I love this. I think she looks gorgeous, and for me, I think she ate this. Even though it's
Mhm.
simple, but I think she ate this.
I also agree. I love Dakota's aesthetic and I love the colors even though they're kind of hard to see in this
Hmm.
picture with the like light peach color, but I think it's gorgeous. I love the where the ostrich feathers are placed. It's like not too much. It's just like placed in the right places and the little
Yeah,
white side, what do you call this? Like a it's not
it's
draping,
like a
but
shawl.
like
It's like a shawl.
oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling
Yeah,
and going in circles, but I really love it. It's beautiful. This is an 8 for me.
yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It's an 8. I would say maybe bordering on devour for me. I
Same.
think
Mm,
it's hard. This color, it's not Dakota's fault. I love Dakota's style too. I think it's so well defined, and
Mhm.
I love that about a queen. It's like a know your space, and just it's beautiful. I do think this color is really tough. These kind of pale, muted tones really hard to pull off on the drag race runway in particular, just because everything is
Mm.
so bright. Like it does.
yeah,
You do better with yellows. You do better with like certain kind of brighter shades on this runway,
Mhm.
um just in general across, because it's always also a purple tone, always a magenta tone to the runway,
yeah,
and so the other colors bounce off of it, but pale, like understated beautiful ones like this don't show up as well, but it is really well done. I would say it's an 8 for me, but it would be a devour if she had a tiny little um like a tiny little hat headpiece, like a small one that's another clamshell. You see the
Oh,
Mm,
clamshell
that'd be
on her
cute.
breast. That would be
Yeah,
cute, or something, just a small little. And her style is so good for hats and pillboxes and cute little fezzes and I would just love to see something like that on this look. But
Mm,
generally,
I
I
agree.
love it. I love her. I love Dakota. I
mm,
want to see more Dakota.
me
Same.
too.
Same.
Next, we have Just May. Who wants
I
to
love
go
Just May.
first?
Let me start by saying that I
Mm-hmm.
genuinely I love her. I think this is simple. I get it that that's like her aesthetic, that she goes for like simple and simplistic drag. I guess she's more performance based. I don't love it, but we also didn't get to see a lot of her, so I'm just happy that she's here. It's what I'm gonna say. Gonna be nice,
Hmm.
but I think she nibbled. That's what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
I
What
think
do you
it's
think,
a. I think
Genie?
it's a nibble. I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
nibble, a clear nibble. Obviously, there's like some just some minor issues, like just that the fit of the pants are hard to fit properly,
Mm,
and especially with like hip pads and things moving around, it's like so difficult. Um, but yeah, I do wish we got to see more of her. I hope
yeah,
Jess May has opportunities to push. I hope she has opportunities to push herself in different directions
yeah,
for post Drag Race life.
Me
agreed.
too. Yeah, this was also a nibble for me. I'm not usually a fan of the red, white, and blue like combination. It just reminds, because okay, it reminds me of America, and yeah, I do live here, but I also don't like living here most of the time. I'm also not like the biggest fan of sequins, like in this much of a mass. But I
Mm,
do love Just May, and I love her hair. So yeah,
yeah.
this is also a nibble for me.
Ooh, next we got La Phil. Okay,
Ah,
this is devoured for me. Like I loved this so much, and I read his Instagram um post, and it's so the outfit is based on a Japanese art called
Mm.
kintsugi. I don't know if I'm
Yeah,
pronouncing it
yeah,
right.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
a way of fixing broken
yeah.
pieces of china and stuff. So it's like an art
yeah.
form how you
Oh my
fix.
God! Wait, yes, it is. I'm Japanese, so I'm just like
Of course, you know,
connecting the
yeah.
dots. Oh my gosh.
So I as soon as I read that, I was like, it makes sense. I see it.
Mhm.
It's like different parts of a cutlery or whatever china mixed together and made like this thing, and it's incredible. I love it. This is just like
It's
this is
beautiful.
a artist that knows the style and
Mhm.
the ideas that they want to go for, and it's so amazing. And people love talking about Sminty as a runway person, Cheddar. I think, in my opinion, love Black Pepper even, but LaFell is, in my opinion, the runway person.
I think so too.
uh,
I agree. I
it's
agree.
just incredible.
Hmm.
It's just great.
Devour. Double
uh,
devour.
so good.
Yes, this is a
Quadruple
devour.
devour.
I
And
love.
also, like, LaFell is tiny, but they know how to like make themselves just feel, because a
Yeah.
lot of times, like Ginger Minge, Ginger is tiny, but she looks tiny on the runway
Mm,
because of
mhm.
like the proportion of the outfits and stuff. So
Yeah.
LaFell knows how to like make like themselves look longer than they are.
Mhm.
So I
Hmm.
like this a lot.
No, this is just beautiful, and I love the because kintsugi is like the direct translation is gold sticking to. So you're sticking things with gold, and that's how you connect the
Ah,
different pieces of china. So that's why there's that gold in between, and
mm,
it's just done so beautifully. And I've never seen it be incorporated into fashion like this before, which I'm surprised because it's almost like quilting but with china. And I feel like
yeah.
that'd be something a lot of Japanese fashion designers would just jump onto if they haven't already. But it's beautiful. It's perfect. It's a devour.
For sure, devour. I didn't read Lifil's description or post, but I saw Kintsugi as soon as I saw the look. I saw Kintsugi because it is that gold, and it's such a. This is one of those things that I wish I would love to get experiment more with, is mixing fabrics and mixing
Mm,
textures together like this. It's done so well, and it's not. Um, it's it's a concept. It's a concept, and
yeah.
it's beautiful. I feel like a lot of the looks that bring pieces together, there's no idea behind them. There's no statement, and I love Lifil for making a for saying something with their look, you know, and
Yeah.
that is like that is not it's not easy to do. but
Yeah.
he's doing it really well. I love it. It's beautiful, visually beautiful,
Yeah.
conceptually.
He did it.
Yeah.
He ate.
Agreed.
Hmm.
Devoured. Just,
Next, we
just.
have Pixie Polite. I
I
thought she
think
wasn't
Pixie
wearing shoes
looks.
for a second. I had to do a double
Oh.
take.
I think Pixie looks beautiful. Um, I like. I think this is the most extravagant, like how do you say it, like more rich kind of
Opulent.
look that she's, yeah,
Hmm.
opulent look that Pixie has worn, and I like it. I'm not a fan of green. I'm Michelle Visage in that matter. I
Hmm.
don't really like green color, but I like
Hmm.
it on her. I think Pixie looks great. I don't know. Just it's not my favorite, but I do think Pixie looks good.
She looks good. You're right. I think it is the more opulent than her other looks. I like the green on her, the gold on her. I would say only a lot of queens don't change their makeup around too much, but I
Hmm.
wish I wish Pixie had warmed up her makeup with more gold, more bronze, more
Mm-hmm.
just colors that go with the green and the gold, because it
Yeah,
looks very cool toned compared to everything we're seeing on the look.
agree. And the makeup almost ages her a little,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a
Like if Anna
little
Nicole's corpse was reanimated and brought back. That's what we see.
Yeah, no. This was a nibble for me as well. I do like
Yeah,
the concept. Uh I don't know. I think once you go from the waist down on her legs, it starts to just look, it doesn't look as put together as the top
Hmm.
half, especially
hmm,
like I said where that nude illusion goes down to the feet and covers the shoes. I
Hmm.
yeah,
think honestly, I see that black pump under there. I think I would have preferred having the black pump out instead of covered because it just looks like she has her layers and layers of tights that you have to use to, pad and cover up the pads. Um, but I still, it's a nibble, and I love Pixie Polite. So that's just my one note that I have.
yeah,
I wonder if the gold you see the bodysuit part. I wonder if that
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
was supposed to go on top of this tight, and then she just like put it on the in there's like many layers. Like I wonder if it was put on in
Yeah.
the wrong, or because you can
Because
see
I
on
Oh,
see
the
that
top.
shadow.
Yeah, because on the top you can see that that bodysuit is underneath the golden bodice, but on the
mm,
bottom it's covered by the it's something's off in the arrangement of the layers, but it's a lot of
I see
layers.
that. It
It's
is.
tough.
Hmm.
Wearing drag is so hard. I wish this
Yeah.
outfit were like in her dreams. The outfit would just be a zipper in the back and you just get into the whole thing. But I bet it's like a
Oh,
whole.
it's way more complicated than I'm
It's way
sure.
more complicated. Yeah, it's too much. It's hard. But she looks
Oh
good.
my
She looks
gosh.
good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, next we
Next,
got Minty Fresh.
I
Ah,
like it.
okay. It's like it's not more like there's no big accessories or whatever, but it looks just like it cost. Like it just was expensive, and even though it's just white dress with like a ruffle or whatever at the bottom, it just looks rich, and I love that. Like it doesn't need stonings or whatever. It just looks opulent. I really like this.
Clean. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
Clean, clean
really good.
lines, clean everything. I'm a big
And
fan.
do we
I have
like the
no
hair?
complaints. Yes,
Okay,
I think.
this.
I like it, but I feel like she's overdone this kind of hair a little bit. Maybe I
Mm,
feel like we've seen it
Yeah,
a couple times, or maybe I don't know, seen it a little bit on her.
the
yeah.
outfit is great.
This is a
This
devour
reminds
for
me.
me.
This reminds me of a look from Drag Race Philippines,
Hmm.
where Silhouette, one of the drag queen, Silhouette, she wore this pink look, and it was just simple. Like it was just a dress,
Hmm.
pink dress, but it just looked so good, and I love that. Like sometimes simplicity is what it's necessary. It's so good. I really like
I
this.
like that too. If I wanna I like clean um despite like when we look at some of the looks, we look at the layers and the textures and stuff. I do
Yeah.
appreciate that for what it is, but if I'm
Hmm.
dressing myself, I really love structural shapes like this, like
Mm.
single fabric or like at least at most two fabric, and structural just shapes, and it's really well done. I do want some idea more to this. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like a
Mm.
it's an 8 for me. But
Yeah.
this it also reminds me, if anyone, you all remember Drag Race Thailand, but there was the White Elephant challenge, and I would
Oh
have loved to
yes.
Mm.
see something this clean for that challenge. Something
Mm-hmm.
like this structural clean. The bottom also reminds me of I think Drag Race Italia, no, Spain, I don't know which one, but the one where the blood drops on the dress. Do you remember that one?
Oh,
Mm.
Italia, Italia.
Yeah,
That
yeah. It just
makeover
reminds
challenge,
me.
buddy, that's so good.
Yeah, it has some touch of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very elevated. I love it. It's beautiful.
That look in
Yes.
Italia is so wild because it was a makeover challenge, and she created that look on
Mm.
at
Oh,
like the state, and she only had one, so that blood thing was just one
yeah, what a
try.
risk. I love it. Oh.
That was just so good, and the fact that she did that. Okay, she won 3 challenges that whole season,
Mhm.
and the winner at the end was the winner. They chose the winner that had won no challenges throughout the season.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
someone with no challenges, safe throughout the season, won the season, but not
Yeah.
for that's it's wild. Italia is
Yeah.
something else.
It's a messy show.
Next, we have Starlet.
Beautiful
I
colors.
have no thoughts. I have no thoughts.
In
Why?
a good way or a bad way?
Yeah.
I just I know everybody's like dying about it. It's good. I'm not a
You don't like
fan.
glamour?
I like glamour. I just think that like I don't know. I just don't
Like
like
what
it.
else? Like what else?
Yeah,
I feel like
cuz
that's how I feel about it too.
yeah. It's like, "Oh, how did she pack this?" And I'm like, "This is a hoop skirt." Or I think that's what it's
Yeah,
called,
it's
but
literally hoop skirt. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So it's like, oh, it's just I'm not um, I think we saw I don't know. I'm not a fan.
I'll
It
admit
looks
it
way too.
is very similar to like, well, not exactly similar, but you got the star patterns, like I guess is her brand, and it reminds me of one of the previous runways she was on before she got eliminated. I can't remember if it was episode 1 or 2.
Mhm.
If we hadn't seen that, I feel like we would feel differently. Um, but if I were not to like account for previous runways, I'm obsessed like with this look. I mean, even with those, fuck it, like I am obsessed with this look. It just reminds me of a glamorous drag Cinderella, so I like it in that sense.
I
Yeah.
wish she
Yeah.
had that concept, because that would be a great concept to bring to this.
Mhm.
But you know what I
What, the
mean?
drag
Like,
Cinderella?
yeah, it would be like you projecting like because what you see in it, I totally see what you mean.
Yeah.
I wish there was an idea to her drag, but there's never an
Oh, or
idea
her
to Starlet's
aesthetic
drag.
fully.
Yeah,
I see.
it's
Yeah.
an aesthetic, it's a look, it's a thing, but it's never an idea. It's never like
Yeah.
a
Mm.
concept. And it is
Mhm.
always like, like she's very very tight in her lane, but it's
Mhm.
almost like every look is from the same runway collection, like the same exact year, the same runway. Whereas
Mm.
other queens like Le Feel have things where it's very Le Feel, but different eras, different times, different feels,
Yeah.
different moments, different occasions. um
Makes sense.
and everything from Starlet is kind of like in the same, at the same party, the same theme party, the same
Mm.
couture party, same event.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So
she knows
Amanda,
how to
this
make
is
the purple shines on her dress. It looks really nice. The colors look
Mhm.
nice. The runway looks nice with her outfit.
true.
Mhm.
So Amanda, devoured for you?
It's a devout for me. I think this is the first time we're disagreeing, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But
I
what is
just
yours, Nero? Is it 8, or I mean, is it nibble or regurgitate?
I will say 8 because uh, the bottom part I do like when a gown like flows a lot. Ooh, now we're moving to top 4. Gonna
First,
take
we
the
have
lead,
black
Amanda, on this.
pepper. Yes. We have black pepper here in the purple and very light purple and black and white. I I think I like it. Um, I don't know. I think this picture might be throwing me off because everything is in motion and everything looks
Yeah.
kind of like out of place. But I like the concept. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like dystopian, like a lot of things going at once. And uh, like a warrior, kind of like the top part is warrior, the second is like glamour, but she made it like it's like in a dystopian land where you had to make it work with like whatever you could find. And
Mm.
I enjoy it. I think it's an unusual choice for like a finale look,
Mhm.
but I like it because it's on black pepper.
Mhm.
That's what I gotta say.
I was looking at all four because I was like, what do I think about these looks? I think it's a nibble for
Mm,
me. Mix of texture, mix of color. I mean, it's black and white, but mix of textures and fabrics.
yeah.
But I mean, I get the idea. It is like drag race. It is like motocross.
Oh.
It is like,
Oh.
it is like road,
Mhm.
Yeah.
road, whatever driving kind of iconography visuals. So I
Hmm.
like that.
Mhm.
Um, uh, I think like I'm personally not a fan of like punky drag. So even the last runway, I was like, oh, I hate all of these. But
Yeah.
just because it's not the aesthetic that I like, but she did a really good job with an idea, and it's fashionable. So I think it's a
Hmm.
nibble for me.
Mhm. Definitely
Yeah.
nibble. Cheddar
Cheddar gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Cheddar gorgeous. I'm very, I'm very
Oh, you're
cheddar
wearing
gorgeous.
Cheddar Gorgeous merch.
Thank you, Drag Queen Merch, for sending me that.
Yay!
Um, I love this. It's like it's so uniquely cheddar because we know that she's like an alien queen. I genuinely like this. Out of all the looks that was presented, this like from the top four, this looks like a finale look. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
this feels big and stylistic, and I love this. I think she ate this.
I think it's a nibble for me because I don't know. I would make some other choices with certain fabric mixed with this stuff. Like I wish
Mhm.
there was something. I wish there was one element that was more grounding, like something
Mm,
more
Mhm.
matte, to like make everything else pop out. But every
Mhm.
single element is a different kind of shine. Like for example, this bustly skirt thing. Um,
yeah.
Mhm.
I would love to get rid of that volume on the sides and make it just more sexy, more of a pencil shape, and just get rid of this like extra. And I think
Mhm.
that
Mm,
would help. Maybe bring the I don't know. I want to remix this, but um, I think generally really over the top, beautiful, worthy of a finale look.
yeah.
Just some small nips and tucks I would make to how she's mixed fabrics together.
I really like this. I love the details in on the headpiece and how it also goes into sort of the top where her collarbones are, like looking at like the spirals and coils. I think it looks really really cool. Not much else for me to add on at this point that it hasn't been already been said. I think the gloves look really cool. I love how
Mm,
they turn into little hands at the end.
yeah.
For me, this is a devour.
Yeah. She looks so good. Cheddar gave us some of like the uniquest look this season. The mushroom look was so good. That happened what
Mm-hmm.
200 years ago, but so
Mhm.
so good. It feels like ages ago.
200
Next we
years ago
got
in
the
Drag Race time.
yeah. Next we got the winner of this season, Danny Bed. What
Yeah.
do we
Judy, what do you
think?
think?
I think this is an 8. I
Oh.
would have loved. I love it. I love it, but I would have loved more if
Mm,
the velvet or velour dress went down to like a floor length mermaid, like just
Mm.
right from the mid thigh out to a a
yeah.
huge trumpet mermaid black velvet
Mm-hmm.
thing. I would have loved the drama of it. Um, but this is her. Like she's already pushing beyond taking the club kit shape, the club kit, everything, and pushing it further. And this really truly is that.
Yeah.
I love it. You can see the reflective gold as well, like on the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like again, small little stupid things that I would just get annoyed about. Like I don't like matte gold with the shiny mirror gold. I want it to be like one
Mm-hmm.
finish or the other. So I wish
Yeah.
the neck was not reflective. But other than that, it's like really beautiful, really her. Love the hair, love the makeup. She looks like a divine creature. So I think of the four, this is a devour for me.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm completely opposite. I don't like this. But like it just I don't know what it is. Like I love
Mm,
that she has her like chest hair on display.
mhm.
Cuz but like for the finale look, I wish because she's Danny Beard. I wish we saw more of the beard.
Mm.
Especially since like this is the last chance to like go out as a bearded winner. On top of that,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
like a first time, right, in Drag Race history, like somebody like her has won. I wish there was more of like a beard on her. um I'm
Mhm.
not a fan of this look. I'm so sorry. I think Danny has had some really really good looks. It's just not this one for
Mm.
me. I will
Ooh.
say regurgitate. So
Well,
sorry.
regurgitate. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I,
gosh.
You're
I
within your
like
right.
this. I like this look, and I
yeah.
love how Danny Beard looks in it. But I can't get my mind off of how it doesn't feel like a finale look. It does from the chest up, but
Mm.
from down with the boots and the skirt combo, it just looks like it looks so it doesn't look like it's supposed to be for this finale. Like you said, like Jeannie said, it needs to be a mermaid like floor length kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
I this having this short skirt, and I know it's classic Danny, but this is a finale and it just feels like you're in a cocktail dress at a
Mhm.
formal event, you know?
Yeah.
We should just redo it with the full skirt at the bottom. It would be a
Yeah.
winner to me. Winner, winner,
Yeah.
winner.
It's a nibble for me.
Mm.
Mhm.
Not me looking like a villain at the end.
Yeah, it's okay. You had to save it. You had to save it for the one you needed it for.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I forgot about this.
John
What
Burrs.
kind of okay? Who took this
Jean
photo?
Bert.
Because whoever posted, because this is from the Facebook page of
Mhm.
Drag Race UK. How are you going to post a photo that just covers the whole look?
But that's how she was posing the whole time. Like on the in
Oh,
motion,
okay.
this big circle was like
Yeah.
blocking her whole outfit. I was wondering why she was doing that. What was she? What are you hiding back there? What was behind there? Why are you not
Oh
showing us the rest of the
god.
outfit? It's a big circle,
Yeah.
shield blocking the whole look. Jeez, this is a finale look. Come on, girl. It's a
Oh my
regurgitation for me
I.
god.
for that reason alone. Just like don't
Oh
block your
yeah.
look.
You know,
Come
speaking of
on.
her blocking her look, because it was A, being blocked a lot, and B, very simple, my
Mhm.
eyes were drawn to the makeup.
Mm.
And I know eyebrows are hard to do, but I hate the eyebrows. I
John
love
Burst.
jumpers. What are those eyebrows, girly?
Yeah, John Burst has had problems with eyebrows because remember the makeover challenge? Those eyebrows on the makeover partner? That was criminal. Like she should have been jailed for that. The eyebrows were starting from here. It was so
Oh
bad.
no.
Just I learned this hack for just right everyday like eyebrow shaping where you take, let's see, I've got a pencil somewhere. Okay, this is eyeliner, whatever, same thing. Where it's like you start it like here, and then you take your pencil and put it in your nose and line it up with your pupil, and then go here, and that's where like the most high up part is supposed to be where your arch starts, and then you go down. But like
Oh.
the arch in this one, it's like it's taking too long for the arch to get there, and it
Yeah.
bothers me. I love
Mm.
jumpers, but it's bothering me. I couldn't stop thinking about the whole time that I was distracted and I couldn't think about the look. Um, so, but also with the look, it was cute, but it didn't scream finale for me.
Yeah.
So for that reason, it's a regurgitate for me.
The eyebrows remind me of when in season 8, Derek Barry was told to make eyebrows, and then she
Oh.
did her own eyebrows, and once looks like that.
Oh my gosh.
But
Yeah,
honestly,
it's
John Burst
underwhelming.
going to the finale with zero wins, kind of iconic. I wish they would have crowned her just for that. Like, just
Yeah.
no wins, winning the whole season. Like, that would have been so iconic.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is not it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a I wish I'm gonna have to give it a nibble or regurgitate.
Yeah.
I would give it a nibble, but regurgitate because she's blocking the whole outfit anyway. And then all
Yeah.
I'm looking at
Mhm.
is like the crotch. And it's just like weird.
Literally.
I
True.
don't like it.
The
I don't
golden
like it.
crotch.
Also, this sort of silhouette she's done before. Remember the green one? It's kind of like this silhouette, isn't it? The dress that RuPaul called one of the best. Like, it's
Mm,
bodysuit with something on top and a long, flowy thing. It's
mm,
like
hmm.
this.
Yeah.
Hmm. Right.
Maybe I
So
missed it, but
next, RuPaul eliminates two of the queens to leave top two. So she eliminates Black Peppa and Jumper's Blonde. What are
uh,
our thoughts? Did you expect this? Were you not expecting
yeah,
this?
I expected it, but I always find this funny when they take like five girls in case of season 14, all the way to the
Mm,
finale, only for them to eliminate them halfway through. It's like, why string them along? Just send them home the episode before.
right.
To
Like,
just have a top
just
two.
take. So you're taking all of them, and then before you make like the final decision, you're like, those two girls out. Like, just it just does not feel good. Just humor them. If you put them on the finale, just humor them. Make all of them lip sync, even if you
Mm-hmm.
have no intention of having two of them win, like they did for All Star 6. Everybody lip synced. Just it just everybody's happy.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But yeah, this I don't get it. I don't get why when they do this.
Yeah. Jeannie, what did you think about this elimination?
I think it's fair, makes sense based on the wins and the run of the show so far.
Yeah,
Um, I do wish, I do wish we got to see Black Peppa lip sync one more time,
agreed.
uh,
Yeah.
just to see. But that would be kind of mean to be like, John Burrs, you're out. Now let's see the other three.
Mm.
They did that on
You know?
Espana
Oh
season
yeah,
2. They eliminated
get out
one
of here.
girl and then
Oh
three of them
no.
lip synced.
Oh
Oh.
well, even that. At least that would be best. It's TV. It's competition. So why not? I wish they had left Black Peppa in the top three just to see
Yeah,
what it would done to the lip sync. But
yeah,
it was clear. It was clear that these two are the top two.
true.
Um,
Mhm.
Especially fun to see like Black Pepper lip sync a slower song, but like it's more
Mm.
Broadway theater song because
mhm.
she's only done like dance songs and she's killed it. So I wanted to see more like emotional side of Black Pepper. I want to see if like she could kill that too. Would have been
Mm.
interesting,
Yeah.
but we didn't get it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
the
the
lips.
lip syncs. Oh, you say it. You say it neither.
Okay. The lip sync song is "This Is My Life" by Shirley Bassey. Do you guys like that song?
I
I
like it
I
hadn't heard it
now.
before this.
I don't think I'd
same.
heard it before.
Yeah. What did we think of the lip sync?
Hot take. Okay.
Tell
I
us.
thought it was very clear who won the lip sync, but the internet did not think the same. I thought it was
Oh,
very clear that Danny won
I
because
think so too.
Cheddar was gorgeous and did a great job, but you could see the emotion of the song in Danny's face
Yeah.
from just facial expressions. And also the way, like what I noticed and what stuck out to me and made it very clear was that in the parts where the mouth would be like big, like Danny was really going on like, like really going.
Yeah.
But Cheddar had her mouth slightly open and she was doing like the vibrato like type thing,
Mm-mm.
but it was like half open. So if she had gone like it would have been different. But I felt the emotion from Danny much
Agreed.
more than Cheddar, even though I was Team Cheddar.
Same. Team Cheddar, but Danny won this lip sync fair and square, I think. Also, like people on Twitter acting like this lip sync changed their lives. Like, oh, this is, and if you don't like this lip sync, you don't like, songs with emotion. You only like kicks and splits and this. It was a great lip sync. It wasn't all that. Like,
It was
let's be
okay.
honest. Like, it was a all right lip syncs, but no, this was not like, oh, people. It's like right now, every time on Twitter, you say you don't like something, people always jump into like, oh, you don't like drag then. Like in Canada versus the World, episode 1, I said I didn't like what Rita did with the song. And people were like, oh, you don't like campy drag. No, I live for campy drag. It just doesn't mean I have to like everything.
Mhm,
Sometimes it
mhm.
doesn't work. It's just, I
Totally.
wasn't, I don't think this lip sync changed my life like people saying it did. Cetera, I'm calling you out. She was the one that
Yeah, it
was
was
spinning all that
average.
mess.
I think
Yeah.
also, Amanda, for people online thinking, I mean, I don't know. It sounds like you're saying people online were saying Cheddar won lip sync, right? I think
Or they were
maybe the
saying it was very
cameras,
close.
yeah, but the camera in person,
Yeah.
Danny would have won, right? But then with cameras going in and out and like closer
Mm-hmm.
up, it gives Cheddar an advantage or makes it more
True.
even, I feel like. But
Right.
the the performance wasn't as evenly matched as what that is. Danny definitely was the victor. I think
True.
Mm-hmm.
also to my theory before of like I don't think they knew Danny Beard was going to win yet. I don't think they decided. I think they knew the top two because they could see the track record and everything. I think they laid out a path for either of them to grab it and to really win in that finale episode, whether it's through showing your pushing past yourself in the performance in the maxi challenge, like the mega mix, or and like next step, showing your true self in the interview and kind of breaking something open. And
Yeah.
This Is My Life, like this kind of song with this much emotion at the end, I can see a pathway if Cheddar had chosen to be, or had found it in themselves to crack themselves open more. This would have
Yeah.
been the final step. I know I said it was an interview, but I feel like this is the final step where they could have been like vulnerable, visually vulnerable, open,
Yeah.
show something, and Danny did it better on each of those areas.
Right.
I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah. Overall, Danny did win, which is fair. I
Yeah.
think they had similar track records. Danny had, and both of them had never been in the bottom. It was like anybody's game at this point. And at the
Yeah.
end of the day, RuPaul loved Danny Beard, and Danny Beard won.
Right.
And first bearded winner. That's huge. In a
Yeah.
different kind of drag. Hopefully, we get Drag Kings on the show.
I know. Can you imagine?
Do you think that will realistically happen?
I don't think that will happen. As long as like RuPaul's name is attached, I don't think Drag Kings will show up. Maybe international seasons, sure. I don't think actual like US, UK download, I don't think it will happen.
I think it could have if Landon Cider had not been on Dragula already. Because to get okay, if we have Victoria Scone on Drag Race UK and RuPaul is there, I think we could get a drag king as well. It's just that I don't know if there are that many drag kings who make as much of a theatrical transformation as a Landon Cider does, and I think that's what they need that level of extraness. Whereas like, I don't know, sometimes drag kingery is like masculine and it's less, I don't know, there's not I feel like it's harder to be flamboyant and over the top, right? But Landon does it really well, over the top, flamboyant, big drag. And I don't know, maybe if there are more kings who do that, their own version of it, of course, their own brand, then I think there could be.
At the end, RuPaul announces that Danny Beard is the winner. So do we all agree? Danny Beard, the winner?
Yay! Yes.
Yeah, I
Yay!
do.
Congratulations.
Congrats to
Congrats,
Danny
Danny!
Beard. Yes.
Danny!
Danny Beard. Okay,
Danny
let's move on
Beard.
to local performer of the week.
Yes. So this week for our local performer of the week, we wanted to highlight specifically a drag king. Our drag performer of the week is a drag king from Play Nashville, one of my great friends, Jack Stone. He has been a drag king on the UBU cast at Play Nashville, which is every Thursday, which shows at 9 and 11. So if you're in the Nashville area or ever find yourself there and want to see some great alt drag, come by. He's great. He actually has a GoFundMe link in his Instagram bio that you can donate to help donate for his top surgery. So go check that out. His @ is king_jax _stone. So KING_JAX_STONE. And he's a great performer, has great moves, like really is such a great king. He actually was just announced as Mr. Nashville Gay Pride for this year. So he's been doing great. He's just on a great trajectory. So shout out to
He's hot.
Jax. Yeah, very hot. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Everyone is so attracted to him at work. It's so funny. Like everyone, like the Bachelorette, like the guys there, like anyone. They're all just like, whoa.
I'm just looking at all the looks now. Oh my gosh.
So
Devilish.
Now we're nearing the end. I would like to thank Genie for coming. I just love you so much. And tell the viewers where they can find you.
Okay. Can I say one last comment about UK season 4?
Yes.
Definitely. Go ahead.
I think Michelle Visage should stop trying to make white salt happen. It's not happening. It's not working. That joke is not working. It's over.
The joke died the first time she said it.
I know, and they keep trying it over and over again. Jesus Christ. Anyway.
It's like RuPaul saying, "She's not a big pill, she's a willow pill."
Oh God.
Yes, it's along there as well. Y'all can find me at Wish for Genie. That's WISHFOR Genie on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. I'm trying hard to
Yeah.
be more on TikTok, but you can find me in all
Yes,
those
Yeah.
do
places.
it.
And you can see me at DragCon UK because I'll be there and I'll be just, I won't have a booth or
Yes.
anything. I'm just doing the runway because, you know, I live
Ah.
for the runway, and I'll be just bouncing around and having fun and meeting queens. Because in LA, I didn't get to
Yeah.
meet anybody. I was just busy the whole time. This time
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
just go and have fun and like be just walking around. So see me there.
Cetera,
That's great.
listen, go find Genie.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna plug a side note here. Speaking of Cetera, check out our podcast this week. We're gonna be revealing Cetera side face reveal. The Twitter icon themselves is going to reveal to the world what they look like. But thank you so much, Jeannie, for coming. We really
Yeah.
appreciated it. It was so much fun to talk to you.
Thank you for
Yes.
having me on the pressed conference. I felt pressed this
Yes.
whole
Yes.
time. Thank you for having me.
Yes. I'm so glad you felt all the emotion.
A lot of the girls will be pressed after listening to this.
I
That's so true.
know. I know. I'm sorry.
All right. We will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for coming, Jeannie.
Bye.